right there. Whatever. Oh, today, wait, what day is today? Is what am I forgetting? It's Mercury. Holy cow, is it Mercury retrograde eve or what? Holy cow. How are you guys? How are you guys? You guys. We had our final Pluto return this morning, and I don't know about you guys, but I am feeling like a huge weight has been lifted, like we've kicked something off. Like there no more crusties are hanging on to us. There have been a lot of good things that have happened today. And again, my apologies for coming on so late. I knew I had to be flexible. I didn't know it would get this late. But I was getting ready to go live and get this, you guys. I was like, oh my God, Mercury's retrograde tomorrow. And I wanted to make our travel plans for spring break, mother-daughter trip ahead of time. So I was able to get that done. And just as I was ready to go again, you know, they're installing a new TV, thank goodness, before Mercury retrograde, because, you know, electronics. So supposedly, you guys are going to laugh at this. Supposedly, I'm the tech person here who still can't figure out any of this stuff. So, like, I didn't do, like, you know, the confirmation, this blah, 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 blah. But regardless, we're here. It's late. It's ahead of Mercury retrograde. And today is such a mighty, fine, wonderful day for our nation. And I've been looking at some charts, and I just get so filled up in joy and appreciation for all of the good. And today, we're also going to talk about this chart. So something's supposed to happen on Friday. What could that be? Something on Friday is happening. So I cast a 12 p.m. chart. Whoops. Okay, we'll stay here. And holy cow, you guys. We're going to talk about that too. And then just whatever else you guys might want to be talking about, because there's a lot of things happening. But today just feels like a brand new fresh start. We got started with this Pluto return back in February of 2022. We had 3 rounds of it, February, July, and now December 28th, and we're complete. And this happened right at the winter solstice. It happened right when Jupiter went into Aries, and it's happening right at our quarter moon, Capricorn, Aries. And I'm double fisting again. I'm gonna have my coffee is now cold, but that's okay. And I didn't realize this. Some of you might have seen this. We actually had 2 to, you know how there's always a blue moon somewhere, some month, we always see them during the full moons. Well, there's always a double of something. This year, we had 2 new moons in Capricorn. Our first new moon Capricorn was in the beginning of January, right ahead of our Pluto return, number 1. So we've had these 3 Pluto returns. We're still in the year 2022, and we're capping it off. Get it? Capricorning it off. It's bookended by 2 new moons in Capricorn. Hello, this stuff is gonna last. Okay, so let me say hello to you. Hi, Sharon and Ellen, Teresa, Paisley, Margaret, Teresa, Denise, Gretchen, Jack. Gretchen, I don't even gonna pretend I could ever say your last name. More paper, please. Carrie. Hi, you guys. T-Ride, Lori, Sharon, Facts and Fiction, Christine, Sweet Bone of Contention, Bonnie Douglas, Marie. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. Pamela has actually caught a live show. Yes, good to see you, my friend Pamela. Thank you. In Virginia. I'm sorry, I feel like I keep saying the same memes over and over and over. I'm trying not to. Virginia, Charlie, oops, in there. And hi, Nancy. Okay, Purple Sky. Did I get... Oh, goodness. Robin just sent her husband in an ambulance for super bad back pain, spasms, sciatica. He's okay, just super painful. Yeah. Oh, I bet. I feel a lot of Mars. Oh, I can feel that deep into my hips right now. I hope he gets better. Okay, do we have everyone? Hi, Victor. As a non-specialist, it's all good. Stacy Cadet. Tara Love is here again. Mimi. January 4th. Stick a pin in that. Denise, I'm shocked to see you. Okay. Mountain Dancer. Okay, I could just sit here and stare at your chat all day long, you guys. Seriously, you guys have like the best things that you come up with. Okay. Thank you for completing my poll. So why did I put that poll out there? I was asking if everyone knew what the can opener eclipse was. We got to talk about that. We're going to talk about this Pluto return. I am so excited. So I'm going to have to give you a quick summary of the Pluto return, USA Pluto return. So this is something we've been talking about all year. We've called it USA. I've been saying version 2.0 for a while. I was calling it the American Renaissance and was very pleased when our President Biden picked up on that, an American Renaissance. It has been underway, and now the blueprint scaffolding is complete. It clicked. The last click happened today, and this energy is going to still be shaking out. So what does this mean? Well, it means that on July 4th, 1776, when our forefathers, the USA, declared independence, the planet Pluto, which is the planet of life, death, transformation, amongst other things, sex, bacteria, DNA, if you want to think about viruses, has to deal with the god of the underworld. It rules the colon, it rules the sex organs. But Pluto is the modern day ruler of Scorpio. Scorpio's traditional ruler is Mars. So Mars and Pluto are especially active during this time. Pluto on this day was at 27 Capricorn, 33 minutes, 6 seconds. Okay? And whenever a planet comes back to where it was, that's kind of called a return. We all have a Saturn return around age 27. It's that time in our life where we kind of have crises. We're forced to grow up. I know it's a problem like in Hollywood with the young starlings who kind of hit that age of the 27 club, and some of them don't make it. Well, they've hit their Saturn return. Saturn sets limitations and obstacles, and it forces you to grow up, okay, and be an adult. It demands, the They got that new TV hooked up and the sound bar, and I can hear it all the way up through my vent. I'm sorry. It just kind of sounded like an earthquake for a second. So this day, the Pluto gives life. We asserted our independence. It rules death. We cut ourselves off from the King of England. So that was an ending. This Pluto return for the United States, because of all of our relationships that are hinged upon it, especially those who were doing business with the King of England, Europe, every nation then feels this. And every nation that the U.S. has done business with or had agreements with since this date, this has a reverberating ripple out effect. Okay, so basically it's touching the entire world. On February 20th was our first Pluto return, and this is why Stubb is losing the war in Ukraine. He just thought it was going to be, routine as usual, go and invade, have a coup, take another country like he's done in other places. No, that Pluto return actually in the Russia chart, it cut Putin off. It cut him off to his military, and in fact, in the Russia chart at 27 degrees Capricorn, I believe is their dark moon Lilith, the pain of abandonment, which, by the way, dark moon Lilith, very active in the Southwest Airlines chart. With these eclipses, it triggered last month. And for Southwest Airlines right now, they're dealing with customers who have to deal with the pain of abandonment. They don't have their things or belongings and they're lost in the cold. That is dark moon Lilith pain, being out there in the wilderness with nothing, okay? But in Russia, their chart, 27 degrees Capricorn, I believe that is in their 6th house of military. So 2 days before he goes in, his military got a cosmic makeover with like the pain of abandonment, having no plan. And there's other things, but Putin has been like cut off as kind of the leader of his military. So that happened in February. Then we had another one, I believe, was it July 11th? And this one, these charts worked so beautifully together. And it's like this chart anchored this chart in the ground. So the top and the bottom of the chart, who we are, where we're born, and where we're going, was like anchored in here. And then in the areas of money, we had the moon and Venus that were sitting right on top of Donald's sun and moon. So his taxes, his shared resources with money and valuables got caught up on that day, okay? Which brings us to today, December 28th, around 10 a.m. Eastern time, I think, is when it officially happened. I don't know about you. How have you guys been feeling? Have you felt kind of a shift today? Have you felt like kind of how we've just kind of shaken something free? It's just kind of rolling off, like water rolling off the back of a duck. You guys know what I mean? Oh, yes. Please hit the like button. I'm going to do that too. Yes, people lurking, come join us. This is a really amazing group. Just be nice and don't say anything rude, okay? Hi, Purple Sky. Okay. Nancy, I'm done with Capricorn. You say that like I said that about the Scorpio cycle these eclipses. Okay. Julie, my sense of humor is growing again. I have felt lighthearted today. I have just been feeling more and more intense and like anxious, like a sense of kind of like dread. But I knew this Pluto return was coming up, but it just, you could feel something was dying off or we were shaking loose from it. Okay, it was just lurker here. Sandra Tibbetts is a lurker. Okay. Okay, so that's kind of the backstory, Pluto return. The other thing is that historically, this has been my hypothesis, I've said this before, this is about 246 years for a nation to hit its Pluto return. And in my eyes, and the text, I don't know which ancient text, maybe it could even be Aristotle, but there's been a notion, an observation that democracies don't typically survive more than 250, 300 years. I think it's related to that. Now, nations have survived for much longer than 250 years, 500,000 of years, but what happens is like they have a war or a coup, and it's like the government is overthrown and they rewrite a constitution. Well, that's a new chart. Even though there's historical charts, but it's basically when you adopt your constitution, that's the birth of your nation without a coup or anything. So you can still make amendments, but the original stands, okay? So this year, I've been saying since the beginning, 2022 was going to be a year in flux. Things would be always in changing. It would be kind of like we're like keeping our balance on this kind of rolling, I'm just kind of having the image of like a really long people mover at the airport. Like, if you stand there and you don't walk, walk left, stand right. If you just stand there, you can kind of feel like the machinery under your feet kind of moving you along, and it's not a smooth ride. You just kind of along. That's kind of how this year was always going to be, where we would expect one thing to happen. Everything was rewritten. There's a lot of talk about how not since 1934 has President Biden or the Democrats been able to retain the Senate. Correct. The other thing that happened in 1934 is that Uranus went into Taurus, and this is when that happened in 1934. That is when our economy recovered. The jolt, the shakeups with Uranus, the innovation, is what led to the New Deal and was able to get our economy going again. Uranus entered Taurus again like 2019, 2020 or so, okay? So this year is complete. 2023, I think, should be smooth. Let's get some cards. Okay, let's do, you know what? Let's do this. We're going to get the Oracle and the Pretty. The Oracle and the Pretty. Whoops. Okay. We haven't looked at these for a while. I just love these Oracle cards. And then I call these the Pretty cards. So I want to know Oracle, Pretty Oracle, the Angels and Ancestors Oracle cards. Our Pluto return. And we're going to do a card for our Pluto return. 3, 2, a card for each of one of these, and then 2023. Okay, so that's 4 cards. Kyle Gray. Angels and Ancestors cards. I love this deck. Guardians of the Four Corners, Mother in the Earth, Father in the Sky. Angels, Ancestors, Sacred Ones. I call on you and welcome you here. Now it's like I just heard them all say, hooray, we made it. The Mirror Guardian. So let's pick some cards. I want to see first this Pluto Return 3. What's this about? I know you're in there. Where is it? Feels kind of stuck. Are you sure? I feel like... well, maybe I'll just do all these 3. Pluto return number 2 in July. I guess I don't think I've had you out since one of the Pluto returns. First Pluto return. last February, July, feels like it wants another card. This is 2023. Okay. Pluto return. Druid. Holding the space. So generally, with our Pluto returns, what's this druid holding the space? Where's my druid? I just need to, where are you? Druid. I have never ever pulled this card before. That is just very interesting. Sacred ones, the druid. Holding the space. So this whole process, message, hold things together. Don't make any sudden moves or changes. Stand strong, knowing you are where you are supposed to be. The Druids were the ancient wise ones of the British Isles. Oh, that's who we declared independence from. They had a deep connection with the earth, the sun, and the moon. They were the scholars who created the Ogham tree language, and they were known for the creative skills in storytelling, poetry, and craftsmanship. When the Druid card appears in a reading, you're being guided to dig deep within and hold your station. If you're wondering what to do next or have a sense of anxiety about what is unfolding in your life, it's time to shift your perceptions and move back to a state of trust. Don't change your plans or do anything drastic. Just trust in the process and let everything happen as it needs to before taking any more steps. Think of a tree. It has strong roots, yet continues to grow and bear fruit. Your life will be a reflection of this. This is like the theme for this whole process, was to hold the space and stay steady. And I have to agree with that, because I think every lunation, every eclipse, and every new moon intentions, I was like, we just want to adapt, ride throughout this energy and be flexible and adaptable. That's what we've done here. This Pluto return number 3 today is the Peacekeeper. We have, oh boy, Peacekeeper, where are you? Peacekeeper. We know who she is, but let's just read this. Peacekeeper. So we had our first Pluto return. There's 3 cards here. Let go of the need to be right. So this is what we're moving into. This signals less divisiveness, more peacekeeping. Choosing peace and happiness over the need to be right, rather than trying to prove a point, and save your energy for what's important. The Peacekeeper is a wise Native American woman who's been influenced by white buffalo woman. She holds a peace pipe, which is emblematic of surrendering the need to fight and offering harmony instead. So this is what today's Pluto return in the morning is pointing to. Also, the Animal Guardian, trusting your instinct. There is so much trust already coming up, you guys. So trust in the process. So the Animal Guardian, trust your instincts. Trust the powerful animal spirit within to learn more about yourself and your talents. The Animal Guardian is a card that represents the angels of the animal kingdom. Animals are angels of nature who have incredible lessons to offer in medicine that can support you on your spiritual journey and help you survive some of your greatest challenges. When you connect with the energies of animals, you can learn a lot about yourself and the earth. You have instinctive animal energy within that can direct you towards everything you need and more. So this is including our beasts on the planet, a Pluto return inviting peace and the wisdom of nature and those instincts. And the Seer, seeing beyond the current situation. This seems like we are getting out of this nightmare, you guys. This energy just feels so grounding and safe. Where's the Seer? Seer, where are you? They've broken, okay. Seer. Okay. Look beyond your current situation. Raise your vibration and focus on love. Most indigenous peoples have a seer in the family or tribe. Seers are the intelligent and intuitive beings who serve as direct channels for information on what's occurring now and what's about to unfold, kind of like me. Their energy is not about predicting your future for you, but showing you how your intentions are creating it. A true seer will help you see that your intentions can change. Therefore, so can your future. The message of this card is to let the clairvoyant within you rise up so that you can see the way forward yourself with your spiritual eyes. This just feels so incredibly freeing. How are you guys doing? Denise, the cards are confirming a brand new chapter, the next level. Yep. Oh, thank you. Sending prayers and healing to your hubby. Yes. Hi. Okay, so this is where we're going. To the peace, our animal instinct and guidance, and being the seer. It's like we are out of this cloud and fog and haze and psyops. Our second Pluto return, that was in July. No, we're going to start with the first one. And I was kind of out of order. But this whole journey with our Pluto return started in February. And this first card, the Stargazer, set your sights higher. That surely is a very President Biden-y thing to do. Always optimistic, setting those. How many things did he accomplish this year? I mean, just really. Okay, Stargazer. Where's the Stargazer? I wish they were all in Stargazer. Spirit Fox. Nope, that's Star Ancestor. Stargazer. So this was our first Pluto return in February. 2 days later, Putin goes into Ukraine. Message, go beyond your limitations and believe that the impossible is possible. Yeah. Do you ever remember wishing on a star when you were a child and in your innocence believing that your wish would come true? The stargazer connects with the energy of the cosmos and reminds you that you have the ability to draw on support from the universe. His cloak with its sparkles and light shows that you are closer to the energy of the universe than you think. I mean, what a year for space travel, too. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting myself. So look beyond where you are and create even bigger dreams, visions, and goals, because with the power and help of the cosmos, those wishes can come true. What a year 2022 so far. And then the second Pluto return in July that anchored this into the ground for our nation, our visions. Well, then we got to work on the people and our assets and the things that are shared and what our vision we want it to be. So in July we have Earth Mother. Feel loved and comforted. Oh, I love this card. So Earth Mother. At the height of summer, we have Earth Mother. Look how beautiful she is. Feel loved and comforted. Allow yourself to be cherished. Earth Mother is protecting you with a shield of love and light. Earth Mother is the female counterpart to Sky Father. It's auspicious to receive this card because in the eyes and heart of Earth Mother, you are her child. And she is highly protective of her baby and will give you everything you need to grow and expand. Earth Mother is only covered by leaves in this card, showing the vulnerability of the earth. Every day she experiences challenges that she has to adapt to and overcome. Her energy, represented by the symbol of the pagan triple goddesses, Maiden, Mother, and Crone, behind her can help you adapt as the changes of life come your way. Wow. And also over the summer, Pluto return number 2, the Sage. We have Earth Mother and the Sage being devoted and committed. So the first one, we are setting our sights with our higher goals. The second one, we are being nurtured, and we have to commit in our devotion to our vision and commit to being cared for and nurtured. So the Sage, we have be devoted and committed. Be willing to go to the whole road and back again. This will allow you to be the best you can possibly be. The Sage represents the wise one within. When this card arises, it shows that you are preparing to become a great and insightful teacher to your peers. It guides you to take notes as the wandering yogi is on this card, because your knowledge and life experiences can impart incredible insights to those with whom you come into contact. This card is also about observation and becoming more aware of who you are and all of your inner workings, because that awareness can bring more clarity to your decisions. So the vision, holding the space, being nurtured and committing to the vision. And here we are, like in the flesh, breaking free. Okay. The third Pluto return, which is ushering in a 2023. That is the wise one. Look at her, that owl. Go within your current situation. Okay, wise one, what do you have to say? So wise one, I have never pulled this card before either. I like seeing her. Where is she? Wise one. Okay, where is she? I'm not sure how the... Is she here? Here she is. Yep. Look at that fairy tale moon over the owl. Wise one. Grow within your current situation. The message is knuckle down. Knuckle down. Be reliable and committed. Be open to wisdom and insights from your elders. Our USA 1. Lessons to learn. The wise one represents the wisest aspect of the goddess, the crone. In paganism and modern Wicca, the crone is the fiercest, most psychic, and most aware aspect of the goddess, because she has been through many of life's challenges and overcame many setbacks. On this card, the raven in her hands represents the capacity to overcome the darker times and be reborn again and again. Wow. So she helps you to tap into wisdom to overcome whatever life throws at you. Wisdom being the information stored in your soul, rather than the knowledge acquired in this lifetime, and to learn from the experience of your elders. It's commitment and reliability. So to me, this just kind of unifies our past, being reborn again, and using our wisdom from our elders, everything that everyone seems to have forgotten about our history and our leaders. And it's so beautiful, because when I show you this Pluto return number 3 chart, and where like all the presidents lie in this chart, it absolutely embodies this. How are you guys doing? Paisley, this just makes me weep with joy. We've made it. You're right. Yes, we made it. We freaking made it. I mean, we've been through hell and back. You guys know I started this channel in 2019 because I could kind of see what was coming on the horizon. And the Pluto return was the last ring of fire we had to get through, but it happened to last for like 10 months, a 10-month process. We are going to start into 2023, this newborn baby. We're going to have the first solar return in February. And it's going to click off like eclipses do, that first Pluto return. And we're going to keep clicking things off throughout the year. It's going to be a big year again of change, but growth, because we're already rooted into our blueprint from going forward. We're like not having to build the plane as we fly it, so to speak, through this 2022. Okay, it is just so perfect. And there are many times this week I've been looking at so much stuff where, yeah, I have been so moved to tears in what good fortune lays ahead of us. So let's, you guys, congratulations, we made it. I can barely wrap my head around the fact that we made it. There's still going to be like some kind, it's still going to be exciting, but the door has been closed on those mofos and what they tried to do last year. There's a shift. There is no tolerance for putting up with this bullshittery anymore. Okay? Someone staged and set off their smoke alarm. Well, good to know that that's all working. Okay, those are my fake candles, because I have been known to set fires during live streams, and I don't want to do that. I'll put this over here. And I really like this black, but I'm feeling like I'm going to have to write some things out, okay? So this Pluto return number 3. Yes, it is. Oh, we still have to do the pretty cards. We will do that later. Put this up here. This is your chart. It's a big messy chart because I made it a mess. But let me show you the highlights. Okay, you guys, you know how I have talked. Okay, know that this is the eastern horizon, the rising sign. This is the west where the sun sets. And this is the highest point of the day, the midheaven. And this is like where the sun, all the planets are on the other side of the world because the sun is over here. So like this is midnight, okay? So today we had our third and final Pluto return, and on the ascendant was the sign Aquarius, 10 degrees. How much do I love that in this 3-step process that we've made to reinvent ourselves, that we're capping off this year of transformation with the sign that is the visionary, that is the innovator, that is the humanitarian, the one that looks to express itself in humanitarian ways. And conversely, the dark side of this is that one can get so caught up in the science and in the innovation that they lose sight of the humanity, and they're like science at all costs, and they lose touch with people, or they might say that they're doing this in humanitarian ways, but really they're not. But there's so much power here because we've got Saturn in, oh my gosh, in the first house here, in its dominion, and that is at 22 Aquarius. And so this first house represents like the health and embodiment of our nation, our leader, mostly like whoever's POTUS. So we have this in its dominion, indicating wisdom, Saturn return with age. I keep seeing so much Saturnian themes come across our lunations just because we have President Biden who's been there, done that. He was a senator, a vice president. He's been in our government forever. And this serves so incredibly well for the stability of the office and where our nation is planning to go. On top of it, yes, this is something that made me weep, and I tweeted about this today. At 22 degrees Libra, in exact trine, this is the most powerful, positive link that you can have, aspect, is the asteroid, speaking of the devil, not the devil, but is Biden. President Biden's asteroid. that which he represents in his office, in this area of law, our scales of justice, our international relationships, our religion and faith, is beaming in the sign of Libra, the scales of justice, and in the strong trine. Furthermore, at our first Pluto return 1 in February, this is where the moon was 22 degrees Libra, which represents the people. So it's like President Biden with the laws. He's for the people and creating an incredible amount of stability going forth. This is what we capped off our Pluto return with. Just this alone is mind-boggling. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? Yes, Sharon, the Pluto returns have really wreaked havoc in everyone's life. The Pluto returns, we as citizens, has transformed each and every one of us. And if you've had your birthday since our first Pluto return, you can probably feel the nuance on how you in some way have been remade, reborn again. Okay? So this is 10 degrees Leo. I know I cut myself off and interrupted myself earlier, but you guys know I have talked about games in sports astrology, or if there's competitions or races, that if you, the winner, is the one who can make a strike on the western horizon, because this is your opponent. It's either your partner or your open adversary. So it's like whoever's natal Venus is closest to the horizon. It's like I've never seen a horse not win who didn't have that aspect compared to the race chart. But it's such a tedious thing to try to figure out. Well, it's like the Pluto return is stating, this is who I am. This is our opponent. And it's almost like a gauntlet was stomped on the ground, on the horizon. And at 10 degrees Leo, this is Donald's Pluto. Life and death. It's like he's stomped onto the horizon, away from the office, away from the well-being and who we are as a nation. It's going to incline him to be destructive, but it's like there's nothing else he can do but Plutonian things. And his personal chart all year, he has gotten whacked. So he's going to have to transform, in my humble opinion, if he wants to live a full life. This is not good for him, and you will see. You know what? Where's the icky deck? Where's that icky deck? I want to see how this Pluto return hit Don Julio. This is the good, fresh, clean deck. This is the crime deck and investigation deck. So it's like he can't. This is the 6th house. Military public servants. He can't do anything there because he's on the cusp. He can't take the reins of that house. He can only influence his opposition to the United States of America. And again, these cards feel like they should be in the archives somewhere. They just don't feel active. They just feel like this is the past. Show me Donald's Pluto. What does that Pluto represent? What does that Pluto represent? And what gets hit from above and from below, from USA Ascendant? Just the Justice card, the scales of justice. Libra owns this fancy little real estate over here. So Pluto has an appointment with the Justice Department. That's taking some action. Gonna whack. Oh, man. The King of Cups. Now, this could look like Biden's Justice Department. This could be him trying to fight for Pootie. But really, it belongs to the U.S. Donald's Pluto here on the western horizon in a very precarious position. He is caught. He is caught. He's got a different perspective. He is not just hanging there. That Pluto now is forced to do something, and he's caught. And getting down is going to be difficult. I don't know how you save face when you're being forced to come down. Okay? At 4, it's Pluto. The 7 of Cups, what he's been hiding. The 2 of Pentacles, how he's maintained balance, how he's, I think, switched money back and forth, maybe from public agencies to his partners. The Chariot. Things are getting rounded up very quickly. What he's been doing here, he's caught. Things are quickening. They are at a certain pace that he cannot deny. This is coming over, hitting him from above with the discussions he's had with people. I think these are witnesses. These are people who are talking to the government. The 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Wands. The conversations he's talked to making people wealthy. If you protect me, 9 of Wands. It's also like the oligarchs and we found out all the stuff you did with our defense. That's how he's getting hit. From beneath, the 4 of Pentacles. How he tried to hang on, but he's getting hit by those things that give him stability. His stability is going to get shook. His stability is getting shook how? From his point of opportunities, his point of transaction, his opportunities, his money, can't do it anymore. Can't do it anymore. Oh my God. How are you guys doing? Buffering! No more buffering. I swear. It was upset about JUSTICE. Okay. So that is how this Pluto return is shaping up there. This is not a winning horse by any means. It has all the evidence. So that is just part of this chart I wanted to look at. Oh, you guys. This is what made me so excited. I wanted to cry. So, oh my gosh. I can't get ahead of myself. We're just going to go in her. So the USA moon, our natal chart, has a moon that is at 27 degrees Aquarius. It's down here, but it represents we the people, okay? Now, that now is in the first house again. The people are there with POTUS stabilizing everything that the POTUS, the leader, does on behalf of the people and our laws, and that was set at our first Pluto return, okay? The asteroids at 27 Aquarius, we have Thorenia, like a female Thor, if you want to think of the divine feminine or women in politics. But this one I really loved. It's called Amalthea. She's the tender goddess. She's known as the tender goddess. When Zeus was an orphan, she cared for him. So we've got like a divine feminine, the crone, the wise one, who is here making a statement that is really stabilizing, and she's so tender, okay? The astrology card I drew here appropriately was the 8th house, beginnings and endings, transformation. How appropriate. But when we start looking more into the, so at that time the moon was 18 Pisces. The last live I did, I talked a lot about releasing a solar figure, that eclipse back from 20, this is the one that booted Don Julio out of office, okay? And the sun was at 23 Sag, and the south node, what you're releasing was 19 degrees Sagittarius. Releasing a solar figure. This is when cosmically Don Julio was officially booted, okay? And so the last time we were talking a lot about this because when the Ways and Means Committee voted on releasing the taxes, the minority co-chair guy, Braiding, forget his name, his asteroids and what was going on with the GOP and that Reddick guy from IRS had so many conflicts. This was giving them so many problems and so much heartache, and they have nowhere to go, and they're caught, and they just are besides themselves. They are sweating bullets, you guys. So this moon today then is in square to that eclipse that I was talking about last week. So this continues. We're capping this transformation with the tension, the crisis points of releasing Don Julio. So it's in the second house of our values. So it's like it's saying, this is what we value. We're never going here again in Pisces, which is endless and boundless. And we are going to leave no stone unturned to ever be duped or deceived again, because Neptune is at 22 Pisces here, which punctured a hole in USA natal 22 Neptune Virgo, where the extremist white supremacists hide and where they lie about the laws they passed. So this caps off being really clear on what our values are, what we're going to do, and we truly are never going to forget this nightmare disaster that happened, okay? I thought it was interesting. There goes my throat. At 16 Pisces, we had the asteroid White House, literally for the White House. It's like, yeah, our White House is really important in who we put in there. But this is the oh, and 24 Pisces. Hello, John Hancock, one of our founding fathers. But this is what got me really excited here. I might have to draw cards. I have to. At 0 degrees Aries, our new fresh start, Jupiter is in Aries, gives unlimited, boundless energy with us on a new frontier. If you want to have a sign like Aries do something new and transformational and have a new journey, well, you want Aries to be able to do it because that's the first sign of the zodiac. Aries has to be strong enough, be positive and optimistic and brave enough and have enough courage to take the whole zodiac and bring them along into a new cosmic year, okay? So if you want someone to be battling this new frontier for you, you want it to be Aries. And Jupiter, that expansive planet that forces us to grow in all different areas and even in places where we don't want to grow, and that's where things kind of get crazy. But Jupiter's there, expanding his powers, expanding his marvel, expanding his optimism, expanding his superpowers and what he can do. And this is where I wept. Weep, wept. Because Aries, Jupiter, Aries is 0 degrees, Aries, 47 minutes and 57 seconds. Asteroid Grant. Yes, this was named for Ulysses Grant, our 18th president. 0 degrees Aries. 51 minutes, 49 seconds. You cannot get more conjunct than that. This is in our third house of our messages, our communications. He's our general that led the Union to victory over the Confederacy. We start off, we cap our Pluto return with the most magnificent sign of the zodiac, charging us forth, that's been given superpowers to go the distance. And yes, he's the one that asked for Congress to give him the 14th Amendment with the K, that act, so he could go round up those supremacists that were threatening people at the voting, at the polls. All those people who had been emancipated, all those who had been free, were being intimidated to not vote. And he said, Congress, I need this 14th Amendment so I can just throw these mofos in jail because of what they're doing and part of this reconstruction. We have Ulysses S. Grant there. And furthermore, the bottom of the chart, the top of the chart is 29 Scorpio. The bottom of the chart is 29 degrees Taurus, which can be a difficult degree, but at 29 degrees Taurus, we also have this asteroid, Ulysses Grant. So our 18th president has so many markers here that's grounding us, protecting us, in charging forth in amazing, wonderful ways. Can you guys get this? Isn't this amazing? Hi, Herbert family. Holly Coleman, my right ear was ringing when you were talking about Jupiter and the 0 Aries point. That's amazing. That is amazing. Bonnie Douglas, Elijah, Ruthie, and they are. Oh, I have goosebumps right now. Ulysses. Are we doing the pretty deck? Ulysses, what's going on? Oh, boy, do I feel him. It's like he's awake. I get to finish my job. Okay. Ulysses. I want to know. We're going to do this pretty deck. I want to know what you're doing this Pluto return with this Jupiter at 0 degrees Aries, fresh starts. We are going to have our quarter moon tomorrow, crisis point, which leads to, oh my God, this chart when those taxes are going to be released. The moon's going to be in Aries. Ulysses. Oh, he says he wants a card over here. He says these are very pretty, but he really wants a card over here. What do you want? What's anchoring? Okay, we'll do this for what's anchoring. This is what's anchoring his work. This is anchoring what he's doing. Okay, that's anchoring his work. But really, when it comes down to it, the oracle cards in his mission now. Got this. Oh gosh, look at that, the magic card. He's going to do some magic, you guys. He's going to do some magic. Eyes on Ulysses. Okay, where's the book? Where's the book? Okay. He's going to do some magic, you guys. He's going to do some magic. So, the theme of his work. Charging forth. He is like, I hear horses running across the land. Unlock the magic within. Stop looking outside yourself and recognize that you have incredible power within. Magic is the energy of the universe that allows you to manifest and create through the direction and power of your will. It changes according to your frequency. The magic guardian is a representation of the angel of magic who helps you direct your will to bring something into creation. he's got some will. So with him, the Mirror Guardian, with Jupiter, oh, the Heart Guardian. Wow. My throat. I'm glad that my throat tightens in good news, because it was always tightening with bad news, it seemed, for the bad guys. The Mirror Guardian, what he's doing, he's got some magic. Take some time to reflect on your strengths and challenges at how far you've come. Yeah, we need to let this energy settle in as well, because everyone's going to be acclimating it. Recognize your gifts, USA. Angels accept you just the way you are. Even when you're going through a challenging time, they still hold you in the highest esteem. The Mirror Guardian, a female angel looking into the mirror of life, invites you to witness your spiritual strength and beauty, to see yourself as the angels do. This is such a healing. It's like we get to remember who we really are. That is his mission, and that we all love one another. Our union. He beat the Confederacy. With Jupiter, the Heart Guardian. I know, President Grant. The Heart Guardian. Love and let yourself be loved, you guys. You guys. Welcome with open arms, opportunities to give and receive love. The Heart Guardian is an angelic energy that can help you call for protection and guidance with all issues surrounding the heart. This is essentially the angel who helps you with all relationships, whether they be with yourself, family, or even a romantic connection. She can enable you to move beyond any limiting fears about trust, divisiveness, and discern whom to trust and understand how you can move forward in a balanced relationship with that person. This is incredibly healing for we the people. This is in the area of the third house with USA Natal of the people. He's here again to help unify all of us. And what's grounded within this final chart, the final say, we have the Ace of Blades, the Ace of Swords, innovation, intelligence, picking up. This is American exceptionalism. Our innovation, because it protects our nation. At this point, this is about being on defense at home. This is about protecting us as a nation. There's a lot of protective energy. We're rethinking about how our nation is protected. Even though we've got oceans and our coastlines, obviously there's a lot going on at home within that needs the programs, the ideas, the innovation to make home safe and to carry on with our ideals and to be able to communicate with one another. Oh, I just got it. It's like we're going to get the disinformation and the cloudy haze out. It's like we're starting at square one, the Ace of Swords, like kind of making sure that we're all on the same page, speaking the same language, and that it's all truth. This is the battle that we're having, and he's going to help ensure that we're doing it right. And the Six of Wands, the celebration, the celebrity card, that we all get on the same page, that we're all cheering the same thing, the same people, no matter who they are, what they're doing. It's time to celebrate who we are, to celebrate how far we've come, to protect all of those things that we put into our nation, because we really are so very good. That's what's at the root of us being reborn. On the same page, we're here for all of us. That's kind of cool. Like, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Oh, this is the wrong deck. I love that. I love that. Holly Coleman, if you have time, take a moment to look at President Grant's birth chart. Some of his placements seem to align with some of the recent astrology transits. Holly, his chart, what am I doing, is just made the hairs on the back of my neck and on my scalp stand up. Knowing what an incredible general he was, his exquisite skill on the field, on his horse, the crazy stuff, the risky, crazy things he did on the field to inspire his troops and to get going, and the inspiration, divine guidance he got. My God, he would be a phenomenal hockey player. But it's just like his reflexes and his muscle tone and how he would integrate information and make those decisions. It was stunning to me. I have always been such a fan of his, well, since I got to look at this stuff in the 14th Amendment more closely. And the 14th Amendment, I think it was that summer of 2020 around George Floyd, that the 14th Amendment kept coming up over that summer for me. I was like, you guys, I don't know what's going on with this 14th Amendment, but it has to do with citizenship and being able to vote. And so I just naturally assumed all these issues coming up with the 14th Amendment was related, to those guys trying to suppress the vote. It wasn't just that. It was the Nazis and supremacists and having to round all of this stuff up. And here it is, rooted in our third Pluto return and President Grant wanting to get it correct. That's kind of crazy awesome, right? Yes, he was, Pamela. Okay. There's so many things I want to talk about. I need some more water. He just has so much youthfulness and vigor in his chart. Oh, okay. We need to talk about something else because I think we're going to kind of have this lull here where we're just going to just kind of acclimate to this stuff. And then all of a sudden, ba-bam, especially in January, it's beyond whiplash. It's just how things are going to just suddenly, shockingly shake down, break down. Because what is happening in this chart, you'll notice down here in this fourth house, this is Grant, President Ulysses is anchoring this stuff. Well, what's happening in this fourth house right now, we have Mars. Now it's at 9 degrees Gemini and it's retrograde, okay? Direct, it's still going to be very sleepy. This is why it's so hard. If you guys noticed, it is so hard to get stuff done. Like you want to get like projects done or clean the house, anything like that. It's like you can't get those plans off the ground. It takes a lot of energy and thinking and thought to do something. That's because Mars is sleeping right now. Mars is that planet of action and will. Mars is recharging inward, okay? And by the way, yes, we have our worst winds and our worst storms, like when Mercury and Mars are retrograde. And we saw that in the east, okay? But what's happening here? Mars is now going to retrograde to 8 degrees Gemini, and then it will go direct in January. And so we're going to be spending like a couple weeks with Mars retrograding, stationing, going direct, and going forward at this 8 and 9 degree mark of Gemini. It just feels like we're going to be stuck here for a while. Well, this is really important because even though Mars is at 9 Gemini, 41 minutes retrograde, 8 degrees Gemini, this is USA, natal Uranus, and it is in the 6th house of public servants and our military and our intelligence. Uranus is the planet that leads Donald's chart as his chart, the behavior of his chart as it rotates, because this Earth spins. he's so fond of that planet, Uranus. He's at his most comfortable self with chaos, creating a lot of crap and flying by the seat of his pants. And no one has ever before kind of record-breaking things. He's always looking for records to break and boundaries to push and say that he's done the most innovative thing. This Uranus is at 8 degrees Gemini. So we've had our third Pluto return. We're going to be in Mercury retrograde, and Mars is going to smack this Gemini. I do not know what's going to happen to Kevin McCarthy, the GOP, because this is, we thought Judge Loose Cannon was pretty loose before. I'm speechless. I can't even conceive of what's going on because, you know, Mercury's going to go retrograde tomorrow. And so you guys chill with this Mercury retrograde, because whatever we're feeling, these guys, the GOP, Don Julio, are going to feel it that much worse. And Donald always messes up as soon as Mercury goes retrograde. So does Bill Barr, so does Pence. They're all Geminis. So it is going to be rolling around here at 8 Gemini. And what's going on here? So that is also happening. Tarot, good guys. Oh, and this new moon Capricorn, the 6th house in Washington, D.C. came up with the moon void, of course, meaning something's going to happen. It could just be Don Julio's taxes, but I think there might be more in store. U.S. government, show me Mars. Retrograding to 8 degrees conjunct USA Uranus. Pop. Boy. 3 cups, conspiracy, 3 branches of government. It takes 3, but I've been seeing that 3 cups with conspirators in the branches, and then day-to-day conspirators trying to get something done. And Ginni and Clarence are in my brain right now, and Mike Flynn. The 4 of Cups, the next step of the conspiracy. Oh, they got duped, because the 4 of Cups is like Don Julio, like saying, hey, you guys, maybe you should do this. You know, like through back channels. I'm offering you this. Something happened. They got duped. It's out. So this is Mars. The devil. We have some unfinished business, says USA, with the devil, which can be our Constitution, but really it's Don Julio. We just cannot get rid of this mofo. Mars retrograding. The 5 of Pentacles, the Kupiku, and it's going to hit Uranus, USA natal Uranus. The end, game over, and world contacts. This is what's going to happen when it hits Uranus. We have the Queen of Cups is not happy, the United States of America. The Page of Pentacles. I think this could be, Don Julio's taxes, but it could be something, you know, like Alex Jones's 2 years of text that was given to his opposing lawyer by accident. Oops. Stuff like that. The Queen of Pentacles for the coup. Those plans, those people. This is January, you guys. I don't know what happens, who's going to be sworn in or not. January is bonkers crazy. How are you guys doing? When does Mars go direct? I don't know. It's in January. I will get my ephemeris. I should know it because I've looked at it so many times. It goes direct. Mars. On January 12th at 20 hours and 56 minutes. So it's going to be late. that's when it goes direct. Mercury retrogrades on the 28th Wednesday, supposedly, and it goes direct. Oh my God. Oh my God, you guys. It's going to go direct on like the 17th at 8 degrees. Oh my God, sorry, my throat. At 8 degrees Capricorn, do you guys? And it's going to roll around at that mark, 8 degrees, for about a week. 8 degrees Capricorn, I believe, is USA Natal ARIES. You know, F around and find out. So this is leading. Oh my God. Mercury's going to go retrograde. They're not going to know what happened. It's going to hit F around, find out. F around, find out. ARIES is saying, yeah, you guys, you know what you did? This is what you're going to get FAFO'd. This is how they're going to get FAFO'd. We'll just take all these cards. We're just going to take all of them. We got your intercepts, your plans, your connections, the Ten of Pentacles to the dynasty of the Marilardo, and, you know, overseas sponsors. We've been able to separate you from those texts and those messages and that money and the conspiracy that you had with, like, the Russia and the Kupiku. ARIES is like, this is your F around, and what you're going to find out is, you're going to find out this. You're going to find out this together. And you're going to find out this. Intel agencies going after transnational crime syndicates and their associates. So the Ten of Cups usually is my GOP card. They're going to find something out. The Four of Pentacles, what they thought, they were so stable in hanging on to stuff no matter what and never resigning and never calling someone out for the deplorableness of their associates. The government is not going to like that. Neither is the establishment. There's a big problems coming for them because no one's on their side. And it's like we get rid of, exorcise the devil from this. It's very pointed. So this, you guys, January, ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. Can you believe this? The 12th is your birthday, Blue Dog. Happy birthday. You just should sit back and watch because it's going to especially speak to you, especially going forth with this Pluto return energy. It's kind of like you have special reins that you get to hold and use as a citizen of our nation and directing your supportive energies, whether, you know, you're calling your Congress people, representatives, or you're trying to voice your concern about something, your voice be loudest and strongest above the fray, you know, considering you're like grounded and centered and not going cuckoo crazy. Okay, you just calm, focused, like the oracle cards laid out for us. That is going to be your special talent this year. Oh, thank you so much, Herbert family. So, anyway, now, as we get... Oh, am I mixing my cards again? You guys, I know I've said this before, but in the last time we had the Kupiku thing, the January 6th, I was getting to the point where I was getting ready to do readings again. That is definitely on the table. It's been out there. I just kind of waiting to get through this, but that is brewing, you guys. That is brewing, and I'm trying to figure out a way. I'm going to try to explore StreamYard, because I think I might be able to do like a small group. you know, on video if I could figure that out. So that might be kind of fun. That might be kind of fun, you guys. I would like to do that. I've been wanting to do that for a long time, but this has been calling to me. But it's nice that we're getting to this point where I can think beyond the coopy-coo crap, right? Okay. Yes, something is happening. Something is definitely coming. Okay, what else did I want to show here? I thought this was very interesting in our Pluto return, that here in the 7th house at 29 degrees Leo, now remember, this is Donald's rising sign. It's the heart of the lion in the sign of Leo. Leo 29, it's usually the marker of like a king. But people with this sign, their sun, their rising, can like have a tendency to rise to the highest status, but also have tremendous falls. 29 degrees Leo, we have asteroids. Nancy is in Pelosi, like she's totally got his number. And MacArthur, you know, the guy that negotiated and finalized the surrender of Japan with World War II. That's there. I don't know what to think about this, but stick a pin in it. USA natal chart at 22 Virgo is our natal Neptune. Remember, that's like where a lot of deception and, you know, all this stuff criminality, we don't like this extremist party doing. Well, we have asteroid South Dakota, which makes me think of money laundering. You know, the transnational coup and like kind of border states, how they see, I mean, border states is like being on the coast or being on the Canadian-Mexico border or in the Gulf, that there's like opportunities here with transnational enemies. So eye on that. We also have asteroid Indulgentia, indulging. And Prometheus, I don't remember what Prometheus did, but it sounds a bit scary and intimidating. This is what the GOP is going to be dealing with. It's like it's all coming out. We have, who else do we have? There was something very interesting here. And I think that's all I'm going to do. Oh. This one stood out to me. 29 degrees Scorpio. Now, at the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, the change in world power and government structure in 2020, January 2020, this is like where everything really came down. Around the globe, everything was restructured. That was done. At that point, at 29 degrees Scorpio, was the asteroid America. And this was a vulnerable point for Pearl Harbor. And all I remember is that whatever was happening at this degree, making us vulnerable to something like that again, it was like asteroid America moved into this space to protect us again, you know, from ever being vulnerable like that again. So this 29 degrees Scorpio, the last degree of Scorpio, we're in the middle of Scorpio eclipses, is at the top of this chart for our Pluto return number 3. And here it's just very interesting. There are 2 asteroids, one named Thomas and one named Toma. And I have used both of them interchangeably for Clarence and Ginni. So this is what's suspended in the skies at the top of the chart. Can you, Carol, can you show me? I'm mixing my decks, darn it. I want to see. We just want a card for Ginni and Clarence. And then Asteroid America. This is at the top of the chart. Ginni. Oh, Thomas. Clarence. Boy, that just feels stark. Asteroid America. Hanging over Ginni. Clarence. And in between you guys, Asteroid America, the Queen of Cups. My cards for America. You can't make this up. And those secrets. Ginni and Clarence. You guys, come on. Come on. They're secrets. America is onto you and your secrets that you've been offered because you're freaking spies. Can you believe that? Ginni. The Five of Cups, the Five Continent coup card. These are the transnational contacts that she has, that she's allowed to interfere on our boundaries, our sovereign nation, to let them kick stuff around and then say she has this nonprofit, that. That disguise. There goes my throat. Holy cow. Asteroid America above her says Seven of Swords. You can't get away from this. The Seven of Swords theft. We know you've stolen, and we're looking at you. Clarence, the challenge. The government, is this a Supreme Court? His challenge is the government. Like what? Like what could possibly be challenging him? The mob. His being challenged, his connections to the mob, Don Julio, all that, and the desecration he did to our Constitution. And America, asteroid, the King of Swords. Hello, Department of Justice, the courts looking at you with a sword and a plan. And between what we know, what you tried to do and steal through the government, and between both of you, America says you're part of the mob and you tried to help them. And America says, what's Ginni's challenge now? She carries the burdens. She was the final one. Whatever plans originated elsewhere, it's kind of like she was the final one to have the say in the leadership and how things were distributed, like with the judicial branch, working with other branches of government. America says to Clarence, oh, the Knight of Pentacles. Mercenary, bribes, money, quid pro quo. And between both of you, you transmitted information and people got hurt. People were driven away. People didn't make it. They always come up with just the most worst kind of types of crimes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Patty. So, yeah. So they're screwed, you guys. They're screwed. Let's take a look at this chart on Friday. I cast a 12 p.m. chart just for the day for that these taxes are going to be released. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wanted to faint for a good reason. How are you guys doing? You guys are talking about candy? I want candy. Oh my gosh. I went last night. It's called a Kris Kringle market because it was so cold. They had to shut down early. I should show them to you. Anyway, it's like a German market outside this cute little village. We try to go every year. We haven't been able to lately. But I got the last box of milk chocolates that were stuffed with Irish cream liquor. It's so good. It is so good. It is, and I had this amazing hot chocolate with Belgium chocolate, and the whipped cream was so thick, it almost tasted like it could have been like a layer of cake, but it was pure wholesome cream. And it was so cold and it was so delicious. Oh my gosh. I want to go eat that now. I actually hid it in my closet because I didn't want anyone to eat it. Because they stole my other stuff. Okay, I need something to wipe this down. Where's my thing? Oh, here it is. I know, right? Purple Sky, will any progress be made for the migrant-Texas border situation? I'm nervous that it'll get hostile. I don't know what's going on there. There's a lot going on. Because when I look at these terrascopes and I look at the location of Texas, originally I was looking at it because of Abbott. But then I started looking at the city of Austin as the capital, and I did not know that there was a Tesla thing there. Now, today, looking at all the Southwest Airlines problems, they're based in Dallas. And it's just really weird how even that Southwest Air chart intermingles with Trump's chart. There's a lot of criming going on there. And I haven't been able to look at it in depth, but it is just, well, you guys know, it's been so overwhelming. But yeah, I don't even know what you do about that. We are in a new place, and those people in Texas, because we had our third Pluto return, are going to get tripped up and mess up. And I think it's related to the bigger transnational thing that's going on, because those are kind of like the same sponsors for like January 6th. It's all related. So it's going to be hard to sort out because we've got Mars retrograde, we've got Mercury retrograde, and January's a mess. Okay? I just can't. It's just so much. It's so much. And so much unraveling. Mario, how many repukes are going to be gone from the government? I'm going to say a lot. I'm going to say all that had anything to do with this in some shape or form. I don't know what the timing is, but there's no way in the position that we are in now they're going to let it keep going on. I feel like, wanted to wait, like DOJ wants to wait until certain things are released so they're not acting preemptively or being seen as acting with bias before, like, those tax returns are released publicly. Because Don Julio can have a case if he feels the government was acting with bias, okay? It has to go very slowly, and since I think that decision was made to release that, I can't remember the other things that happened, but we've been having attacks on our electrical grid with people and sharpshooters. Winter is not the time to really be having that type of open vulnerability. I don't know how many attacks have happened. It's been a lot. So there's this delicate balance of not looking biased, because we don't want them to buy more time. And there's another issue about keeping everybody on safe and making sure there's no retaliation against people. So yes, they will be held accountable. I don't know what shape or form, but my God, it's massive and it's huge, and they know. Happy holidays. Okay, so let us look at this chart. I might have to just read the text that I shared today. This is, oh my God. This is Friday, a 12 p.m. chart. We don't know if it's going to happen on Friday. I am just going to tell you that, oh my geek. This is what's going, these are the things that just made me lose my mind. I'm losing my mind just looking at this again. First of all, this chart, I said it was for 12 p.m. So if it's in the middle of the day, of course you're going to have the sun at the top of the chart, okay? But that sun, you guys, is at 8 degrees Capricorn. This there's two things majorly happening here. First, it is opposite Donald's natal Mercury, which is 8 Cancer. Okay? Mercury is Donald's ruling planet. It's the nature of communications, negotiations, it's agreements, it's contracts. It's dotting the I's, crossing the T's. It's that thinking and reasoning and accounting. So we have the Sun, which represents a leader, opposite his Mercury. And Mercury will be retrograde. Like I said earlier, Donald always stumbles when Mercury is retrograde. So not only do we have the Sun opposite his Mercury, and his ruling planet is going to be retrograde, Mercury, you guys, is on that day, is going to be 24 Capricorn retrograde. This is insane. There it goes. Okay, stay grounded. Do you guys remember 24 degrees Capricorn? Do you guys remember the can opener eclipse? That is this. It's the can opener eclipse from July 16th, I think, 2019. We talked about it a lot. Then this eclipse was such that the sun at the time was 24 Cancer. The moon was 24 Capricorn. Donald's Venus, his money, is 23 Cancer. His Saturn is 25 Cancer. This lunar eclipse took place in the exact sweet spot, only separated by 1 degree, that divided his Venus, his money, and his Saturn. The reason why it was always a brick wall trying to access his money and his secrets. He would always get away with stuff because Saturn, the authority, the obstacle, had his money's back. And he knew it. He knew he could get away with everything because nothing could get behind that Venus and separate the symbiotic relationship going on here until July 16th, 2019, we had the can opener eclipse. And I called it the can opener because for me, this degree of 24 degrees sunk its teeth in that point. And slowly but surely, like with each passing day, it would be one crank on that can opener to eventually pull the lid off so we could look at what was in his tax returns. This was the financial undoing, the mortal blow to Donald hiding his money. I said that back in 2019, this thing would expose him. And so, this Friday, Mercury arrives at 24 degrees Capricorn. It's retrograde, effing him up, hitting this point wide open. He's spinning in circles because this is retrograde, but it is also opposite USA, natal Mercury, which is 24 degrees retrograde. Now, normally this would be hard for, authority to pull off, but since we had this Pluto return year, we have been able to rewrite how these two Mercuries function. And now it's like it can span the entire axis and be flexible enough. Our nation is flexible enough to be at both ends of this spectrum, especially in Capricorn, where our leaders are and our establishment. So this is a death blow to Don Julio. Furthermore, remember when I said it was the end of the not seas? Recently, it was called the death of the them, because I can't remember what happened related to this. I know it was related to this 24 degree, oh, here it is, 24 degree mark, because the other thing that happened in 2020 when we rewrote the world structure of power and governments, we had 3 Jupiter-Pluto conjunctions. And this is the thing that killed the Nazis, okay? The Jupiter-Pluto conjunction is what ended Adolf and Benito. It does away with these knots, okay? So this happened 3 times in 2020, and our Pluto return, our quarter moon, tax returns released, the can opener eclipse, and the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. Do you see how far-reaching this is? And this is just on Friday, and it's clobbering Don Julio. And there's Pluto. And it's just it's just unbelievable. And the moon is going to be in Aries. She has just, at noon, she has passed Chiron, the wound, and she is in a loose conjunction with Aries, F around, find out. And that all activates again. And this is not going to go well for Southwest Airlines as well. They've got a lot of problems. Mercury going retrograde. And it is also activating the day they started their operation. The day they started their operations, Dark Moon Lilith was conjunct Eris. So that is F around and find out for abandoning people who are traveling far away and the pain that they have. That chart, because there's 2 charts when they were founded and when they started their operations, that 1971 chart is the pain of what you did to people while they were traveling. You have to answer for that now. So that's happening, and they're based out of Texas. Texas! There goes my throat. Isn't this crazy? Happy New Year. Andra says 2023. We'll get, okay. So, oh, don't even get me started on Sam Bankman. God. In his chart, he got that whole thing started in 2019 during the era of the can opener eclipse and doomed since then. He's like the back channel for all the crypto and the hacking and the trafficking and the lala. And Jared was like a back channel with him to make sure people, he's toast. He is just toast. Oh, yes, the force is with Jack Smith. Okay, this is the last thing I forgot to say this. Thank you, Gigi. Happy New Year. Let's go back to this Pluto return chart. Oh, and this is what's going to cap off. This is going to be our nightcap, you guys. I know it's really, really late. Again, I'm sorry for starting so late. I had some things unexpectedly happen this Mercury retrograde eve. Let's go back to this Pluto return. This was the best part. Okay, so last time I was live, I talked a lot about the releasing a solar figure eclipse on December 16th, 2020. This is when Don Julio was cosmically booted from our nation's leadership. We said, bye-bye, we're done. Because the sun was at 23 Sagittarius, which represents a leader, but this is USA galactic center, the black hole at the center of our universe, untapped potential and power. But conjunct that, leading this, was the point of 19 degrees Sagittarius, the south node of the moon. Think of a lunar eclipse. The south node, think of a full moon, is when you've reached your climax and now things start undoing themselves. You've maxed out, it's time to move on and become something else, so you're releasing something. So the sun, a leader, conjunct the south node is releasing a solar figure. And the last live I did, this was super duper active. I can't even remember why, but there was a lot of magic and sparkly happy stuff all over this. Well, today our Pluto return that we had this morning, guess what asteroid is at 19 degrees Sagittarius? Jack Schmidt. This is the asteroid I use for S.C. Smith. He has arrived to finish the job. In the USA natal chart, I believe his asteroid, I believe it is at 8 Gemini, conjunct USA Uranus. I think that's how I double checked. That was the factor that I was like, that is him. So, so that whole thing I talked about earlier with Mars retrograding to 8 degrees Gemini, moving slowly, going forward, middle of January, like around the 12th. There you go. There's your January 12th. Who was looking for January 12th verification? Here it is. It hits USA Galactic Center. USA natal Uranus conjuncts asteroid Jack Schmidt. There you go. How do you like me now? How do you like me now? Jack Schmidt, what are you going to do? What's this Pluto return got in store for you? He's like, oh, he's giving me a look like, you'll never know. You can draw a lot of cards, but you will never know. I'm working on this conspiracy that is a world global conspiracy. We've got this thing wrapped up, marching forth, and all the people, every single person who was involved, who made something happen on that day, because timing, fortune comes and goes, and this is how Pooty sees the GOP, who does favors for him with their timing. This is just part of what he's going to do. And these 5 of Wands, these are like the 5-continent coup. Well, they all have leaders. This is what he's got in store. The government, laying low, that's jail. So I don't know when, but this is what's going to happen. So we're going to wrap it up here. That was a really great note to end on. Thank you so much for coming out tonight, you guys. I hope you are feeling good and you can feel this wonderful, lovely energy. We've broken free. We are brand new. There is so much promise, and there are so many angels and good fortune, past, present, future, looking over us. Thank you so much, best moderators. You guys are amazing, and thank you so much for your generous donations. I really, really appreciate it. Onward we go. Yes, you would be a good time to have popcorn in your house, because you just might want to munch and snack on it, maybe daily, every other day. Take it easy. Be easy on you. This is a time to just take it all in, okay? So you guys have a good evening. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kat. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Teresa. Good night, Holly. Aloha nui loa, Marie. Thank you. Thank you, Denise. Love you, Linda. Thank you, Sharon. And Sequoia. Stay safe. And Nancy. Linda, thank you. Good night, Strawberry. Good night, Eileen. And Mario. Nancy. Paisley. Paisley, I saw your comment in the last one. You said, I think I get it. I'm getting it. We were talking about the transnational stuff. Yeah. Yes, go Jack, go. Go Jack, go. Good night, Jessica and Patty. Thank you. Gonna go look at the stars. Yes. Okay, thank you, Jean. Have a good night. We'll see you later.